Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Today we will be continuing the technical introduction about how to configure your SPBX, and today we will be talking about the configuration for core features. So with the core features, you can actually realize some more advanced management over the phone calls you received with your PBX or made by the extensions of this of this PBX, and with those features, you can actually realize you can actually satisfy the requirements of some specific clients from certain industries or business, and we will see what those features can do. And now I'd like to make sure that every one of you can hear me well. So if you do hear me, please give me a reply in the chatting panel to let me know. Okay, thank you so much for your help. If you hear me, please give me a reply. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, thank you so much for your help. Well, it seems like every one of you can hear me well. Then let's get started. But before we actually get started, I'd like to say another thing here is, well, I have muted all of you guys. That means you cannot talk to me through a microphone. Well, I feel sorry about that, but that is necessary because that is to guarantee the sound quality of our meeting and also to make sure that other audiences in this meeting room won't hear what you are talking in your office or whatever is happening around you. The voice won't be broadcasted through the webinar system. So this is what we do right here. Okay, well, let's start with the core features introduction today. The first core feature we are going to talk about is queues. So our queues is a basic call center management feature. So, well, with queues, you can actually assign a group of extensions as agents, and they will this way they can handle the phone calls made to your system very efficiently. So, well, if you have clients who deal with a lot of phone calls, or specifically have for example, a technical support team who receive a lot of phone calls, then this feature is actually very, very important. So, well, let's get into settings, and here we have queue. Okay, here we have a default queue. Well, you can use this default queue. You can also add new queues. So let's just add a new one. And well, you will see the queue. And the first number here is the queue number. The queue number is actually the same as the ring group number that we've been talking about in our last webinar. And it is considered extension. It is considered an extension number in our system. It won't occupy any the number of users, and also it has to fall into the extension range we have set it in the system. Well, you already know about this. And well, you can give this queue a name. Well, you can give any name you want, but it will be the same as our other name in the same system. You can only put in letters and numbers in the name. You can characters, and well, space is not allowed in the system. And well, the name is only for you the administrator to recognize this queue. You may have a bunch of queues in the same system, so this will help you to identify each queue. And here we have password. So the password is actually a password for each agent. So you can actually put in a password here. That means all the agents have to put in the this password to log in. Otherwise, they cannot get into this queue, even though they are assigned as agent. And then we have ring strategy. Well, this is very easy to understand. That defines how the system will ring, how the agents in this queue will ring when a call arrive. Well, for example, we have ring all. That means when one call reach to this queue, the support queue, then all of the agents will ring at the same time, and whoever pick up this the call first will answer the call. Well, very easy to understand. And then we have least recent. So least recent means the one who have received least call in 1 month will receive this will ring the first, and then the second, then the third. Well, easy to understand, I believe. And we have fewest calls. So the ones who have received fewest calls all the time in all time. That means according to the system, the extensions who has received least calls in history will be receiving this call first, and then the second, then the third. Well, this is how it works. And then we have random. So in random, the system will just pick up a agent, and he will receive this call first. Just a random agent, no other rules or regulation here. And then we have run robin memory hunt. So in this mode, that means if the caller has made a call before to this queue, then the original agent who received this caller the last time will just receive this call directly. Otherwise, if that's a new caller, then it will go through the same order. And then we have linear. So that means the callers will receive phone calls according to the order they have put in this. They've been put in this selected list. Of course, here we have failover destination. That means if a call was made to the queue, but none of the agents has picked up this call, then this call will be sent to the failover destination. So we have a bunch of options. We have hang up. Then that means if nobody answers, then this call will be hang up. When your system is really busy, you can choose that, but in most cases, it's not the best option. Here we have extension. That means you can assign another extension to receive all the unanswered calls, and of course you can send it directly to voicemail, to another IVR, to ring group, or to another queue. We have a lot of choices for you. You can choose the one you like. And here, the follow-up is the list of all the extensions you have in the system. We'll just choose the ones you want to select it as agents, and they will be agents. You can also select a bunch of them at the same time, or you can select them all. Well, if you like, that's according to you can configure your queue according to the requirement of your clients. That's very easy to understand. Then we have agent timeout. So agent timeout, as you can see here, is the number of seconds an agent's phone can ring before we consider it a timeout. So we can set it as 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, or you can type in any number you like. That means when a call was sent to one specific agent and he hasn't answered this call, the phone is ringing, but he hadn't. He failed to answer the call. Well, the phone will keep ringing, and the callers will keep waiting. But if you set it in as 30 seconds, then this call will be ringing for this agent for 30 seconds. Then, if nobody answers, then will be handed out to another agent, and then to another agent. Well, so if the caller is really patient, and well, they can wait a whole bunch. They can wait until somebody finally answer the call. And then we have agent announcement. So agent announcement is actually a prompt played for the agent when they are about to be connected to a caller. So this is a customized prompt, which means will have to be recorded by the installers or by the client themselves. So you just choose the prompt. Then every time when the agent is about to be connected to a caller, the system will play a prompt to notify the caller, to notify the agent. And then we have wrap up time. So wrap up time is a waiting time before an agent. When I'll tell you with an example. Well, for example, if you have a call center or a support team, when you finish a phone call with one caller, you will need to finish some of your paperwork. For example, you will have to fill in some forms to record what you have, record about the conversation, what kind of problem have you solved for this client, or if they have any specific requirements, things like that. So the agent will need a little time to finish all the paperwork before they can deal with the next caller. So the wrap-up time will define how long the waiting time is. So we have also a bunch of choice, or you can put in putting the number here. That means, here we put in 30 seconds. That means, when the agent finish a phone call, the system will wait for 30 seconds before they send the agent another phone call, another caller. This is very, I think, you can understand that. And here we have ring in use. So with ring in use, if you check this ring in use, that means even though as you can see, even though the agent is busy, is in a call, the system will still assign the caller to this agent. But if you don't check this, then if this agent is occupied, is in a call, then the system will just automatically automatically send this call to the next caller. And here we have retry time. So the retry time defines, as you can see here, it means if nobody answer this call in this queue, then how many seconds the caller has to wait before the system try all the queues, all the agents again. You can just define the time here. So as you can see here, all the configurations you have to do here is really for the callers. For the agents, for them, so that they can more efficiently handle the phone calls. And here we have call experience settings. So here you define how you want. Those here you can find all the configurations for the callers. Not the agent, but the callers. But the first one is music on hold. So if nobody in the queue no agents in this queue can really deal with these callers, but you will have to put them on hold, in line. So you can just play music for them, right? Or play whatever you want for them. well, only to only to keep them happy while they're waiting, or you can just play anything you like, a music, as I have said, a piece of music, some of your commercials, things that you want to say to them, whatever it is, you can just play for the people waiting in line. And here we have caller max wait times. That means if the waiting time have surpassed this number here, then this call will be directly cut out. Well, you can set a big number here. People won't generally waiting for 1,800 times in the queue. People don't have that much of a patience these days. But here we have a bunch of choice for you. Well, you can choose the one you like. Then we have leave when empty. That means if we check this leave when empty, that means if no agent is has logged in this queue, even though the caller reached the queue, nobody can really deal with him because nobody has logged in. So the caller will automatically leave this queue. But you can check or uncheck them. So here we have join empty. That means when nobody there is no agents signing in this queue, they can still join when empty. And here we have a join announcement. So this announcement is also a customized prompt that can be played when the caller was set in this queue. So for example, many of our clients would want to say, okay, thank you for your calls. Our agent is dealing with other callers. Your call is very important to us. Blah blah blah. The first thing they hear when they get into the queue. And then we have caller position announcements. The system can automatically announce the position and hold time for each caller in the queue. So that means the system will say things like how many callers are ahead of you. So and you will have to wait estimately 5 minutes, for example. So this is also to make sure that you can the callers will remain in peace while waiting for you, and you can set the play the frequency for the prompt play. So that means if we set 30 here, then this announcement will be played every 30 seconds. Well, to be honest, it's pretty short, but you can also set other numbers here. And here, other than the position announcements, we have periodic announcements. This is, as you can see here, the caller position announcement is actually a system prompt. You cannot choose the prompt. That means it's not customizable. This prompt has already been made and integrated, and it will, if you want to play this prompt, it will be played automatically. And here we have periodic announcements. That's the announcement. That's the customizable prompt. You can play anything you like for the callers who wait in this queue each 30 seconds, or you can define the frequency here. It can be anything you want to say. And here we have events key. That means if the callers are they are running out of patience, they don't want to wait anymore, so they can just dial a key and go to another place. Maybe they can dial a key to go to an emergency extension. Maybe they can dial a key to go to a voicemail if they don't want to wait anymore. Or they can just dial another key to go to another queue, another ring group. You can assign a more destination here, according to your plan about this queue. So this is queue. When you set everything here, the system can have you have everything configured, and the system can handle all phone calls made to this queue according to your configurations. I have explained everything here for you. And as I have said, I believe you already noticed that this is a small call center feature. But the most important thing for call center is not only the call management. Well, with the call management, we have a pretty good solution here. But the really most important thing for a call center is the reports, detailed reports for all the phone calls made to the system, or all the calls sent out by the system. Well, that's a very professional stuff, and well, we do not support, or we do not offer a professional call center report in our system. But if you like, if you have call center clients who want to buy our system, well, you can always talk to us to see the possibility of integrate with the call center they are using, the management software that we are using. And we are also working on integration with third-party call center management system. Most of them are on cloud system. So, well, maybe we can show you some results a little bit later. And okay, that's about it with the call center. Then we will be talking about paging and intercom. Well, this is what we're going to be talking about here. So paging and intercom is usually used for making announcements with speakerphones with your telephone system, with your PBX. Well, it can be used a lot in factories. So if you have factories or warehouses where people work in certain space in this room, and well, you just need to talk to them through the speakerphone, right? So, well, you can actually use our PBX to do that. Here we have paging group. Well, I will show you how you can manage that. Well, first we have paging group number. It's the same as the ring group number and the queue number. Well, so I won't explaining about this anymore. And then we have a paging name, so you can just put in anything you like here, no problem at all. And then we have you can choose the member for this aging group. So that means any member in this paging group can grab their phone call, make a phone call to this number, to the paging group number, and then they will be directly talking to all the members in this, all the other members in this paging group through the speakerphone in their IP phones. So if they do, this is necessary that they are you need to make sure that all the members in this paging group is using a IP phone with speakerphones. And of course, if you are in a factory, you don't really need to use IP phones. You can directly use an IP caller and connect it to a speakerphone. So you can directly talk through a loudspeaker, connect it to the loudspeaker, and then you can just talk through the loudspeaker, and very easily. So this is also workable with loudspeaker. And all you have to do is choose the members and define the number and the name, and also you choose the paging type. Either it's paging or intercom. With paging, that means so the callers who made the phone call to this paging group will talk, and other members will can only hear, but they won't be able to talk. And of course, if you use intercom, that means all the members in this paging group can also talk through their speakerphone in the IP phone, and everybody else in the same paging group can also hear what other people is talking about. So that's intercommunication that will make sure you really understand this. Okay. Then we will be talking about another function here. That's our monitor or supervise. Okay, for this function, we need to go to extensions. So here we see all the extensions we have. So the monitor function actually allows one extension, or also allows some specific extensions in your system to work as a supervisor extension, and they will be able to hear the conversation initiated, or not necessarily has to be initiated, but evolves that other extensions will, so they can just hear the conversation, hear what they are, whatever they are talking through the phones. It can be inbound calls, outbound calls, or internal phone calls during extensions. So here, all we have to do is to click edit. To deal with click edit to configure the extension. Okay, and now in the extension setting, we click advanced. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. In features, in features here we have monitor settings. So we have two configurations on this extension. First one is allow being monitored, and the other one is monitor mode. So in monitor mode, you can define if you want this, if you will grant the privilege to monitor other extensions. You can grant the privilege to this extension, to monitor other extensions, and how you want them to do that. And in allow being monitored, you means if you if as administrator you allow this extension being monitored, so you can just once it is checked, that means other extensions. Those other supervisor extensions can actually monitor the extension 1003, and we can also choose. We can also set if they can, monitor other extensions, and how we can do that. So here we have actually 3 modes. The first one is listen. So in listen modes, the system can only hear the conversation, happened with other extensions, but you cannot talk. Other people cannot hear you. And then we have whisper mode. So in whisper mode, that means the callers can talk to the extension being supervised, being monitored. But the other part, no matter it is an extension or an outside caller, outside number, they cannot hear whatever is talking between the monitor and people being monitored. The supervisor and the people being supervised. Well, then we have barging mode. So that in barging mode, that means the supervisor extension can talk directly through their phones, and both two other parts can hear them. This is totally the same. So we offer 3 modes, and of course you can choose extensive. So in extensive, that means all the 3 ways is available for this extension. And of course you can disable it. If you disable it, then this extension won't be able to supervise other extensions. And the supervisor can also be monitored by other extensions as well. So we can just check here to define if other extensions can hear this extension 103, and here in monitor mode you can define if they can monitor other extensions and how they can do this. And one very important thing here, there are some, probably there will be some extensions that has been allowed, that you allowed to be monitored, and some extensions not. Anyway, if one part, for example, there are 2 extensions is making an internal call. They are calling each other, right? So as long as one part is allowed being monitored. The supervisor can hear the conversation. It doesn't matter if the other part is allowed, because the supervisor is monitoring the allowed extension, so they can hear this conversation despite of that. Okay, this is a monitor mode, monitor function, very easy to understand, and in some specific industries or situation, this can be very useful. Okay, let's move to another function here. Okay, then we will be talking about speed out. So let's get back to call features to configure speed outs. So here we can find speed out. Okay, as you see here in the system, we already have one speed dial, and the way to initiate speed dial is to, before the speed dial code, you dial in a certain prefix. By default, the prefix is asterisk 99. So all you have to do is to, if you see the setting here, all you have to do is to dial asterisk 99 plus 1, then the system will dial out the phone number you set here, that is 198, things like that. It will dial out this number, and of course you can change that. And well, for example, you have a lot of number that you want to set in speed outs. You can actually use a form to record all those information and import this form directly to PBX, and then you will have all the phones assigned to the speed out list. And of course you can have your speed out list export to apply it to another extension. Now here, as you can see here, I have clicked on export, and it's actually a CSV, but you can open CSV with Microsoft Excel, right? No problem at all. Okay, here we see the number, and we see the speed dial number and phone number. This is this is the format, and all you have to do is to put in speed dial code in your first column and the phone number in your in your second column, and you can just continue with the phone number here, and until you finish with all the phone number that you want to assign to the speed dial list. Very easy to understand, right? Okay, this is speed dial, and of course, as you see here, you can change the prefix. All you have to do is to make sure that it doesn't collapse with other with other prefix. But if you like, you can change the prefix. Okay, then we will be talking about the last topic for today. I will be explaining to you how you can configure a fax machine in your SPBX, and with once you configure it, you can have your fax machine prepared, and you can receive and send fax with your SPBX. Well, to deal with this, we need to go to call controls to configure our inbound routes to receive fax, and our outbound routes to send fax. Okay, let's deal with this. Okay, to receive fax, that's pretty easy to understand. That depends on the how you like to use the fax machine. Normally a fax machine is an analog equipment, so you're using an analog fax machine. So you will have an analog trunk connected to this fax machine. So all you have to do is to, of course, select the trunk here, the analog trunk with which you use to receive fax, and to connect it to the fax. Of course, you can you can use one specific route to receive fax. This we suggest that you set your fax this way. But if you like to use this route also, also for other stuff, that's okay. You can do that. But what you need to do here, for example, you have select a bunch of trunks here. One of the trunk you use to receive fax, right? So all you have to do is here to enable fax detection. That means when all those trunks receive a call, and then the system will identify if that's a normal phone call or a fax. The system can do that, and if they think, okay, if the system find out it's a fax, then it will be sent according to the destination you have set it here, not the destination you have configured above. So here, the normal way to do this here is, to assign an extension. The extension will be the fax machine, right? You can register your analog fax to the PBX as an extension. You just find out this extension, and you click save. And a fax machine, as I have said, if you're using a normal analog fax machine, then all you have to do is to realize the physical connection between the PBX and the fax machine. And the fax machine will be recognized automatically by the PBX, so you don't really have to set anything there. So all you have to do is to have this connected to the PBX and the system, and assign an extension number as we have done in our second webinar, and you will have this handled pretty easily. So all you have to do is to find out which extension is the fax extension. You click save. Then when a phone call is made, when a fax was sent by this route, and the system find out it's a fax, then it will be sent to the extension 103, which is the fax machine. And of course, we support fax to email. So if you don't really have a fax machine, or you want to just send this fax in an electronic version, right? So you can just assign an extension to do that. Well, of course, to deal with this in extension settings, you have to assign an email to this extension. But I have already shown you in our before webinar, in our earlier webinar. So no, I won't be talking about this now. So the email. So once the fax is made to the system, then the system will just send to the email address, to the mailbox assigned by the extension 104, if we set it this way. Okay, very, very easy. And then we will tell you how to send out fax. Well, that's even easier. So to send out fax, we also suggest that you use a specific one special trunk to send out fax. But if you like, normally it will be an analog trunks, of course. If you have enabled an analog trunk to send out fax, then there's nothing you will have to do about it. You just have to set the dial pattern, which you already know, and you have to include the fax machine into these routes. You can use these routes for other things as well, even though we suggest that you configure a specific route for fax. But you can also use this fax, this routes for other stuff, for other extensions. That's okay. All you have to do is to include the fax machine. Okay, but in some cases, it will enable SIP trunk here. You can use an SIP trunk to send out fax. That's okay. There's no problem at all. But if you are using a SIP trunk to send out fax, then that's very important for you to enable T.38 in this zip trunk. So we go to trunks, and we find out the zip trunk that we want to use to send out fax. And well, as you can see here in advanced, you will see VoIP settings T.38 support. So all you have to do is to enable T.38 here. Once you enabled, this zip trunk can be used for fax. If you don't check this, if you didn't enable T.38, then even though you have included this trunk into the roads, but you won't be able to use this zip trunk to send and receive fax. Well, that's everything you need to know about fax. Very easy to understand. Okay, I think that'll be all for today's webinar. Thank you so much for your time. If there's anything you'd like to know, as always, you can talk to me through the chatting panel. I will give you an answer right away. Okay, thank you so much. Please, if there's anything, please let me know. Okay, thank you.